and we're live. Fire away.
All right, cool guys. So, all right guys, welcome to week one of the Facebook Traffic Jam training. Pretty excited to have you with us. Our group right now is fairly small. I think there are maybe 8 people in this training. The last training, I think we had 30 people on. I expect another 10 people or so to be in this training by next week because we did a big couple of webinars and some cold traffic push and things like that. But we wanted to go ahead and get started for you guys because I know some of you have been in limbo, like you were in part of the first training and now you're in this one. So anyway, with that being said, today's training is going to cover something that's pretty near and dear to my heart. And Kyle and I, this is only the second training we've ever done because we've actually, as you guys know from based on phone calls with us, we do what we're teaching you to do. So with regards to running traffic and paid traffic and Facebook traffic and those kind of things, that's what we do. And so we never really did a training. And we had this first training, and it went really well. People loved it. They, they spoke really highly of it. But what we noticed is that a lot of people, it took them 5 or 6 weeks into the training to start making that $500,000-$600,000 a day threshold. Not everybody, but that was the vast majority of feedback that we were getting. And so Kyle and I wanted, we discussed this, and our number one thing with this training, as we told you guys, is not to give you a box of stuff and say, hey, go do this. It is to get you making money. Quite simply, we have 2 reasons to do that. One of the reasons that we do this training is so that we can, show people what we know with the intent that we will lessen the learning curve for you so that you won't have to go through the same learning curve for us. That's one of the versions. The second version is the more money you make, the more of our stuff you can buy. Definitely the more money we make. And so we're like, how do we get these guys making money faster? And what we determined, what we came up with, was a combination of not only the exit interviews that we did in the Facebook training, but I probably, and Kyle probably, we talked to, 50 entrepreneurs a month minimum that want to take this training. And then we also have our own friends in the industry that we're always seeing that are also entrepreneurs. So, we're constantly having conversations with these guys. We're in both paid and non-paid masterminds. And so we get a pretty unique perspective about the challenges that are facing people like us, like you, which are entrepreneurs. So this training today is designed to help you with some of the problems that we see entrepreneurs are facing. And now I know as entrepreneurs, you guys want to dive right into how the hell to do Facebook stuff. And that's cool because we're going to show you all of that. And you've probably already seen some of that. If you have access to the first training along with the media buy training, you have plenty of information to go out and start making money. So that is right there. But like we talked to you on the phone, there's something very important that a lot of people miss, and that is the why behind why are they setting up their business? Why do they want to run traffic? Why do they want to make money? What does their business look like? And so this is designed to get you started on the right path. So what we're going to cover today is one, I'm going to explain to you the number one problem that's facing entrepreneurs and how you can overcome it in your business and your life. So that's the first thing that we're going to focus on. By the way, if you guys haven't already grasped this, you're in a closed group. Very few people we invite to participate with us. I can tend to be a little explicit and profane, and that's just the way I am. And if you're easily offended, I apologize. But
Or just if you're easily offended, just listen to me because I won't cuss. I leave all that for John. So
yeah. Kyle doesn't. No profanity, no drinking. We make great partners. So
well,
I get a little like that, but I'm congruent.
that no drinking didn't apply to Rome.
No, I can imagine it didn't. So nice. Yeah. Well, Julian rubs off on you, so I completely understand. So anyway, I get a little explicit in here. Don't worry about it. This is live. I'm just going to do it live because of all the heavy breathing that that we had. But I did this presentation for our mastermind group. We have a yearly mastermind group that people participate in, and I did this presentation for them this past week. And so that group pays us a lot of money, and so you know that this training, in my opinion, is going to be good and worthwhile for you. At least I feel like it. So I'm going to show you how I have eliminated this stuff in my own life, where I try to. Constant battle, overcoming this problem, as Kyle and I will both attest to, but I'm going to show you how to eliminate it and give you some of the tools, both in your personal life and in your business. Because if you have a problem in your personal life, there is a very, very good chance that it's going to spill over in your business. And I don't think that there's anyone out there that doesn't have problems in their personal life or doesn't have problems in their business. I mean, welcome to the human race, okay? We've all got problems. We're all dealing with challenges. But there's this one challenge that stands out that I see entrepreneurs deal with on a daily basis. And so I mentioned to you I speak with a minimum 50 entrepreneurs a month on the phone, and that doesn't include all the people that we know in the industry. I mean, I was just speaking at Ezra Firestone's event this past week. There was 500 people there, all entrepreneurs. There were the presenters who were all friends of mine, all entrepreneurs. So, you know, on a monthly basis, Kyle and I are dealing with thousands of different people that are dealing with this problem. So, with that being said, there's two major types of entrepreneurs, and this applies to this event that I was at. This applies to the people I talked to. This does not apply to the people getting this training, okay? But the first type of entrepreneur, or as Noah Kagan calls them, entrepreneurs, are just simply pussies. I mean, they won't make a decision to save their life. They just won't do it. They're so afraid to fail, and they're in this zone where they're not going to make a decision. They're scared. They don't have a belief in a process or themselves. Therefore, they don't have a belief in other people to help them get someplace. They're scarcity-minded. They have a lot of these limiting beliefs, but they want to be an entrepreneur. And I think it was this guy Silver this weekend, who's a hypnotist, and I'm trying to think, Marvin Silver, and he said, no risk, no goodies, right? You want the Rolls Royce, you want the house on the beach, you want all this stuff, it takes risk. And it's basically the anti-pussy mantra. And so the point being, I don't have a problem with that because I think we've all been there. So I'm not judging these people, all right? I don't judge people. I think that we're all on our own path and we're all dealing with different things. And so I don't have a problem if somebody feels like this. They just can't be in my training or in my group because I'm not going to surround myself with people that are constantly living in fear. And that's who this group is. So the people I talk to on the phone, I get that. If you're watching this presentation, it doesn't apply to you. You are going to go in the second group. And there's a reason that I lay this out to you like this, because I want you to have a contrast. So who are you? If you're in this group, you're quite simply a badass. All right? You're like us. You're a badass. And that's why we call our company Badass Media. And that's why we call our mastermind group Badass Magicians. And a badass to me is someone who takes ruthless and perfect action in order to reach a goal or series of goals. You're going to just go out there and start messing shit up. That's what you're going to do. And it's not always going to be right. It's not always going to be perfect, but you are not afraid. You're doing it without fear. And those are the kind of people in this group, in our trainings, and of the people we've had go through our course, there's nobody that invests $6,500 in themselves that is a pussy. You're not, okay? So you're out here and you're doing it. But unlike those guys, they don't have any of the problems that we have because they don't do anything. So because of that, they're not faced with some of the stuff that we are. As badasses, we have a unique problem. And you're either facing it now or you're going to face it eventually. And this problem is basically the biggest, most destructive force in any business and can apply in your personal life as well. And I really mean this. I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but I wanted to set in with what this problem is and what you are dealing it's very important. So here's what you've got to do for me today. And I'm telling you, if you do this for me today, you are going to get a lot of success out of this training, and you are going to make a lot of money with Kyle and I. And that is, you're going to decide today that you're going to cut this problem out of your life and not deal with it. That you're going to follow the steps that I show you to cut this out of your life so that it will not be a reoccurring theme. And I'm going to tell you, it's not easy, okay? And Kyle and I face this on a daily basis. So in this training, I'm going to show you how to take these steps so that you can eliminate this problem. And it's going to allow you to do the following, okay? More money. You're going to make more money. That's a promise. Okay, the FTC won't allow me to make guarantees. I'm going to guarantee you'll make more money if you do this. You're going to have more happiness in your life. You're going to have more freedom and less headaches. And who doesn't want that? These are the things that you're going to have, and these are the things that Kyle and I are known for in our industry. If you ask someone like Ezra Firestone, Terry Belcher, Julian Farley, if you ask these guys about Kyle and I, what they will tell you is what I'm about to show you. They'll tell you about our Facebook stuff, and they'll tell you about our paid traffic stuff, but they're going to tell you about the way we live our life at the same time. So what is the problem? And by the way, I'm not preaching to you guys. I don't want you to think I'm preaching to you. Nobody is probably more messed up than Kyle and I. I think we'll both agree to that. So this is not about being messed up. This isn't about not having problems, because we all have them. This is about what Kyle and I committed to you when you committed to us to take our training, is that we're going to show you how to make money every day on Facebook, and we're going to show you how to make money with paid traffic. And so what we're going to do today is show you how to make that money. So I want you to keep in mind that this is not a personal indictment on anybody as much as it is a way for you to make more money. So what is the problem, this big dramatic problem that's going to ruin your life, right? What is it? Lack of focus. It is lack of focus, and we all suffer from it in some form or another. I want you to let that sink in. And I promise you that this applies to you some way. And this can rear its ugly head in a lot of different ways in our training or in our stuff. But because we're badasses, we're always looking at different opportunities. And we see opportunity in everything. You know, you take one of these guys that's the opposite of a badass, and what they're saying, well, that's not going to work for me. I'm not good enough. Oh, it's risky. We're not like that. We see something, and we're like, sure, yeah, I can make that work, because I know who I am and what I'm all about. And if I just figure out how to do it, I can do it. I can make it work. And so because of that, we start going in about 1,000 different directions, because we're constantly seeing different opportunities everywhere, because the glass to us is always half full. And so the problem with that, though, is if you don't have focus, then you don't have a plan, because you can't plan if you don't have focus, which means you're not going to get the results that you want. And when I say plan, I don't mean a 70-page business plan. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a plan. I'm talking about clarity in your mission a little bit. And so think about this for a second. Kyle, you just went to Europe, right?
True.
Okay. When you got on that plane, did you know where you were going?
Yep, you bet. Heading to London. London Heathrow.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you're going to go on vacation, you don't just get in the car and just take off. You don't take the family to the airport. The wife says, where are we going? Well, hell, I don't know. You know, didn't really think about it. I mean, you're putting thought into that. You're putting thought into your vacation. You're putting thought into this trip that you're going to go to. You're grabbing, you know, my grandpa used to highlight the map with a yellow highlighter, the big AAA map, you know, map out where we're going to stop. Nowadays, with the internet and GPS, we don't do that. But by God, you know where you're going. I mean, you know where you're going. You know, hey, I'm going to Albuquerque. I'm going to go to Vegas. I'm going to go do whatever you want. So if you don't know where you're going, how the hell can you plan a vacation? Well, you can't. And it's the same thing in your business. So basically, you don't do this, all right? And I think I missed the slide here. And the whole point is, if it's not acceptable for you to just get in the car and drive haphazardly for your vacation, why is it acceptable for you to do that in your business? It's not. It's not. Yet 95% of the entrepreneurs that I run into are doing that exact thing. And they don't even realize they're doing it. They just think they're entrepreneuring. They think, I'm a badass, and so my focus is going to be, oh, I got this project going on, I got this project, I'm in this market, I'm going to write a little copy, I'm going to drive some traffic. I mean, they're just a mess. They're all over the place. And what that does is, it's not okay. I'm going to give you some examples. But what it does is it dilutes the energy that you're spending on these endeavors. Let me give you an example. Talk to these guys from the Facebook Traffic Jam course that you're taking. And the exit interviews we do, it's like, so how did you do? Well, I did this and I did that, and that's why we came up with this training. Let me give you an example of how this works in affiliate marketing. In affiliate marketing, you might be in 8 different niches. So you start a campaign in one niche, and it doesn't give you quite what you want, and bam, you're hopping to the next niche immediately. Or you're doing 10 niches simultaneously. You have no focus, you have no goal, nothing like that. And you don't really want to do that. So obviously, if you have your own product, I had a guy in the last training who's got 100 products. 100. Wow, what are you doing with all of them? Right? I mean, you can't drive traffic to 100 products. Nobody's got that kind of cash flow. So what are you doing? Right? Take your best product, drive a bunch of traffic, be in, make a bunch of money. You don't need 100 products to make money. I have a friend of mine that has, this guy's one of the most brilliant marketers I know. He's amazing. He can write copy. He can design funnels. He's got an ad agency. He's got his own products. He's got all these different products that he's always getting ready to launch. I'm getting ready to launch this. Do you think it ever happens? No, it doesn't ever happen. Why? Because he has no focus. He has no clarity on where he's going. And Kyle and I can give you an example of this in our own business. Kyle and I drive media for customers, and we have a limited amount of time. We know who our target client is. We know what they spend. We know what we plan to make from them. So when someone comes to us to run traffic, that is an easy conversation. It is a yes or no answer because we know exactly who we want. We know what our business looks like. We know what we want to achieve from these clients that we bring in. So it's very important to establish this. Now, I'm not saying you can't have multiple businesses. I'm saying these baselines that I'm going to give you today, establish these things, and then you can move forward in having multiple businesses once you know this stuff. So I don't know if you all have read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Most entrepreneurs have. It's an absolutely amazing book. If you haven't, that's okay. I highly encourage you to read it. But basically, here's the story of Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was this cat in the early 1900s who was a writer, and Andrew Carnegie, the big steel guy, was like, hey, Napoleon, I want you to write a philosophy of success for entrepreneurs. I want you to tell people how to get successful. And so Napoleon Hill goes around and he interviews all these successful guys, like Henry Ford, Thomas A. Edison, James Pierpont Morgan, all these guys that are just ballers, right? Rockefeller, all these cats that are just the big guys in their time. And he developed 17 essential principles for success based on what he learned from these guys. The bottom line is, Napoleon Hill said, definition of purpose is the starting point for all achievement. So the number one thing you have to have is definition of purpose. Now, this may change over time, but it's very, very true. And I'm going to give you some examples of why this is true in relation to some of my own beliefs, spirituality, and universe here in a minute. But remember that. Definition of purpose, the starting point of all personal achievement. Spelling is not necessarily required for achievement. So, where are you going? This applies to you in two ways, business and personal. Where are you going in your business? Where are you going in your personal life? And I like to start with a personal, and then we're going to develop a business around that. It has been my belief, I guess, that if you don't know what you want personally and then you design a business, it's going to be in conflict eventually. There's going to be a conflict. And I already see it with some of my friends. He designed a business. He loves to work from home. He just opened a big office. What? Right? I like to work from home. Don't you have an office? Yeah, I don't really like it. Why'd you do it? Well, I needed it for my business. That's somebody whose business is in conflict with what they want personally. What do you want your life to look like? I'm going to show you how to design that and then apply it to your business. But you don't want that, okay? So know what you want, and even if you don't know how you're going to get it, it'll come to you. I promise you. And Kyle can attest to this. Kyle, how many times have we said, we've been on the phone and we've thrown out there, we want X amount of clients. We want this amount of training people, people that we can coach and help, and it just happens.
Yeah, every time.
Every time. And the bottom line is now just that we don't get hit in the head with it, but what happens and what I'm going to show you is how everything starts to become clear, which allows you to make these decisions and to focus on this stuff much quicker than you normally would. So let's talk about your perfect day. Psychologists have been doing this for years, okay? This is not new. I did not invent it. It is very, very powerful, and I do it. If you know Frank Kern and you bought Mass Control or you've seen it, it's on YouTube. Frank Kern has got a video called Court Influence, and it was included in Mass Control in 2008. And that's where I learned to do this, and that's when I first did it, is when I was going through Frank's training. Frank really does live like this. As someone who knows him and knows what he's all about, he does live like this. And it's really important to do this. And so I encourage you to check out Core Influence on YouTube if you get a chance. It's an awesome, awesome video. But this is very, very powerful stuff. And so what you're going to do is you're going to write out your perfect day. Write it out on paper and be specific, okay? Where do you live? What do you drive? What does your house look like? What do you like to do? Are you married? Do you have children? Be congruent, okay? So, you know, don't put on there, I like spending time with my mom, if you don't like spending time with your mom. Be congruent. This is your perfect day. There's no right or wrong answer here. But here's what I don't want. Don't write a perfect day. Say, well, get up, have a good day, have some coffee, make some money, go to bed. No. It's not what we're talking about. I'm going to tell you in a minute, the universe does not deal in generality. It does not. Be specific. I wake up in the morning. I live in San Diego. I live in a beautiful 7,000 square foot contemporary house on the ocean. My floors are this. The paintings on the wall are that. The first thing I see when I wake up is this. My shower looks like that. I go hang out on my deck that looks like this. I can feel the ocean. It's cool. It's cloudy because it's always cloudy in San Diego in the morning. That's what it looks like. It's completely specific. I get into my Maserati Gran Turismo with black leather. Smells like a new car. I just had it cleaned. I put the top down. That is what I'm talking about with regards to your perfect day. And so what ends up happening is writing this perfect day gives you a sense of what you want your life to look like, right? It gives you a sense of what you want it to look like. And when you know what it's going to look like, then you can design your business to complement your life. So some people, there are no right or wrong answers here. You are who you are. And so for some people, that looks like going into an office. That looks like mentoring employees and helping them to have a better life. But other people, it's working from home. It might be to make $30,000 a month, work from home, work 10 hours a week, hang out and surf all day or hunt or whatever it is that you like to do. It's your perfect day. It's your life. It doesn't have to be what anybody else wants it to be. So the whole point is, if you're like my friend and your perfect day involves working from home and you set up an office, you got a problem, because that's not going to work. And so if you're in conflict with that, it's going to cause problems with your business. And what I will tell you is, by writing this out and getting some clarity will make you a better business owner, husband, father, friend, whatever you are to someone in your life. It'll make you better. And I'm going to tell you why it's going to make you better. It doesn't make you a better person, okay? Writing this perfect day out does not make you a better person. That's not what it is. But how it makes you better is you won't let distractions come into your life. And so, people look at this, they look at distractions and they think, everyone says, well, I don't want any drama in my life. But what you don't understand is opportunities are distractions as well. Drama and opportunities are both distractions. And so, if you, in your perfect day, love your wife, this is just a great example, and she's in your perfect day and you're running on the beach together, whatever you're doing, then when you write that out and you become completely clear on what that looks like, there'll be no distractions in that relationship. Because when your wife says, hey, this isn't working for me, or I need you to do this for me in order for me to feel good about our situation, it's a no-brainer for you, because you're like, of course, this is my perfect day, is to have a happy wife, right? Or it's my perfect day to live in San Diego, so if you get a business opportunity that's going to take you to New York City, you're not going to take that opportunity. And these are extreme examples, but it's really true. It eliminates any distractions. So that's why I want you to write it down, because you can't have these distractions. Now, you're always going to have distractions, because that's life. And let's face it, life is one big journey and learning experience. But what you can do is help to reduce these distractions. So that's what I want to try to help you today. So now that you have your perfect day, I want to move to your business a little bit, all right? I want to move to your business. And the first thing that you need to do in your business, now you know what your perfect day looks like. So now we're moving to our business. We're going to decide what our business looks like. Now you've got to decide what you want out of your business. And you really have to think about this. I was talking to Kevin Nations last week, who is a mentor of mine, and Kyle and I are in his mastermind group. And he was talking about how his goal is to make $1 million a month. This is just a great example. His goal is to make $1 million a month. But the problem with that is that Kevin has got a business that is basically, he calls it being a chillionaire, which is being cool, not having a lot of stuff going on in your business and a lot of distractions, and just simply making money and having fun. And Kevin currently, it's Kevin and his better half that take phone calls for his business, and he doesn't even have an assistant, and he likes it like that. So what he said to me is, I want to do $1 million a month, but I am not quite to the point where I can figure out how to get past the $600,000 a month metric without adding people. And I don't want to add people in my business, because that goes against my model. So that's why you have to think about exactly what you want. Now, listen, I don't care what your religion is. It makes no difference to me, okay? Frank Kern always calls this going a little moogie-foogie, and I'm definitely that, and Kyle can attest to that. I'm really spiritual. I believe in the universe. I believe in energy. I'm a big believer in that stuff. Because of that, I don't really care about religious preferences. I don't have any judgment to anybody regardless. But this stuff is real, so I want you to listen to it. And so I don't care, Allah, Jesus Christ, I don't care who your guy is, but this stuff is going to apply to you. So I want you to keep this in mind. But as I mentioned before, the universe does not deal in generalities. It doesn't. You can't say, well, let me give you some examples here. So, well, I'll get to the examples in a second. So Napoleon Hill was talking about definiteness of purpose. He discovered this in the early 1900s, that is necessary. The reason it's necessary is the universe doesn't deal in generalities. And when someone has definiteness of purpose and a focus on what they want, they will get it. That is the bottom line. Because once you make a specific statement to the universe and you focus on getting that, the universe just gets out of your way and it happens. I'm here to tell you that it happens. So, you know, you're talking to a guy on this end of the phone who went from being broke after the real estate collapse, wanting to be an internet marketer, losing a ton of money trying to figure it out, to a guy who in 3 weeks is going to be speaking at Jeff Walker's mastermind group. Not his event, but to his high-roller mastermind group. I don't tell you that to be arrogant. I tell you because I put it out there that I would be doing these things, that I would be speaking at Dan Kennedy's event, that I would be speaking with Frank Kerr. And that's exactly what's happened to me. So it's very true. And let me tell you, let me give you some examples, like I mentioned, of generalities that you're dealing with. I'll ask people in my one-on-one calls with them, how much money do you want to make? As much as I can. No, right? That's not going to work. So the universe is not going to allow that. That's not the way that it works. You can't say as much as I want. Or I'll ask people, how much is your paid traffic budget? Whatever I need it to be. No. Again, this is murky. This is cloudy, all right? You need to commit. You need to get serious with what your goals are and put them on paper, and then they become clear. And I'll give you some examples. So take the abundance equation video that you watched, hopefully by now, in this training. And this theory not only becomes powerful, but obtainable. So I'm going to give you some examples, all right, because it's going to get real for you. And you're going to have more confidence that you can do it. And I'm not being Tony Robbins here, and this is not a rah-rah, and I'm not going to make you walk on hot coals or eat fire. But it will give you clarity, which is what gives you confidence. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're an affiliate marketer, and let's say that you want to make $1,000 a day in profit from being an affiliate marketer by October 15, 2013. Now what you have to do is you have to say what you're going to give to get that. Because as any good farmer knows, and I'm from Indiana, you reap what you sow. You don't plant seeds, no corn, okay? No seed, no corn. So you got to give something first to get something. That's the way that the universe works. So what you say is, I will achieve the goal of making $100,000 per day in profit by understanding Facebook traffic and picking one product that I can promote. I will know everything about this market so that I can best serve the customers in it by providing them the right message so that they might find value in the product I'm promoting. The end. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go take John and Kyle's Facebook training, and they're going to give me all this ninja shit to help me do Facebook ads. And then I'm also going to know my market, and that's how I'm going to make my $1,000 a day, or whatever your number is. So now you're giving something back. And now it's all about mathematics. So let's say we make $42 a sale. You want an ROI of 100% a day, because that's what Kyle and I typically shoot for. You're going to convert 10 out of 1,000 clicks. Then that means if you want to make $2,000, you need 48 sales each day to make $2,000 at $42. And that means you need 4,800 clicks that day. And so here's what this does. And I want you to think about this. Like, really sit there for a second. And then I'm going to be quiet, which is almost impossible for me to do. But when you put this down, and you break the numbers down like that, and you see that the only thing every day you need to do to hit that goal is to make these 48 sales, think about how powerful that is right there. You have just cut through all the clutter and bullshit. And now the only thing, when you wake up in the morning, After your coffee, after your tea, after whatever it is that you drink, all you're thinking about is, I got to get 48 sales today. What's the best way I can do that? So let that sink in for a minute and think about how clear that becomes when you know this number. And so now you have established your perfect day. And now you've established your business to go with this perfect day. So you know now you got to get 48 sales. What does this do? This allows you to avoid distractions. All you care about is your 48 sales or whatever your goal is. Maybe you sell a high-ticket product and you need one sale a day. Maybe you need one sale a week. But when all of your energy is focused on that, it is going to allow you to avoid distractions. And so these 48 sales become your definite major purpose and nothing more. There's no more than that. So there's complete clarity around what you're doing. And so I'm telling you, it's really powerful. If you do this, you will make more money. If you don't do this, you will struggle in this training because you will be faced with opportunities. There are thousands of affiliate products to promote. There are thousands of affiliate products to promote and make money on. There are thousands of ways to get traffic. There are thousands of campaigns to run to get that traffic. You've got to know what you want your business to look like based on what you want your life to look like, and then you design your marketing around that. And so most of the entrepreneurs that I deal with, they really struggle with this. And they don't understand how Kyle and I can make everything so simple. And we do make it simple because we're only focused on a couple of things, and that's our numbers and our definite major purpose, which I'll give you guys in a second. But if you do this, your life and your business will explode. Your wife will love you because there will be no distractions, right? What do you have to concentrate on? In my personal life, my wife and my family, in my business, 48 units a day. The end. That's it. No more will you get on an elevator and someone asks you what you do and you say, I got this project going on, I got that project going on, I'm this and that. How much money are you making? Well, I'm not making dick because I got 100 projects going on and I'm not focused on any of them. Because that's typically what happens. When someone tells me, I got this going on, I got that going on, the first thing I think is they're not making any money. That's exactly what ends up happening. So here's my example and Kyle's example. Now, I mean, I would imagine that Kyle and our perfect days look pretty different because we're different people. However, you know, Kyle's married, he has children. I'm not married, I don't have children. My perfect day looks a little different than his. However, I'll tell you one thing that's in both of our perfect days is not having employees. And so I don't want employees. I really like working from my house. I live in Phoenix, all right? I love warm weather. That's why I live here. I'm not from here. I live here by choice. I love to teach people. I love to give back, which is why we're having this course. I really, really enjoy that. And for me, I struggled for years to find the right formula in business to make myself successful. I would have really awesome bouts of success and then bouts of just catastrophic failure. And it took me a really long time to figure out the formula. And I know how much pain I went through to discover that formula. And if you ever get an opportunity to talk with Kyle about his situation, he has also felt that extreme pain of having a catastrophic business failure. And lots of, you know, heating bills don't get paid, cars get repoed, houses get foreclosed on. We've both been there. And because of that, it's very important for us that if we can help someone to shorten their learning curve and now have this abundance in their life that we have, we want to do that. And that's why we teach this course. Again, this is all about us and what we want our business to look like. So my goal, basically, in a roundabout way, is I want to sign up 20 entrepreneurs every month for the Facebook Traffic Jam so that I can show them a leveraged way to change their life. That's very, very important to me. And my second goal is to have a group of 40 multimillionaire entrepreneurs that I mentor and learn from so they can enjoy the lifestyle I have. So we have a group now that does exactly that, where we help people in their business to get what Kyle and I have had the unique opportunity to learn about and to help share with them our lifestyle and things like that. Some of those guys in the group make more money than we do, and that's awesome because that's what it's all about. So those are our two goals. So now imagine I get a phone call last Tuesday actually. And excuse me, I'm going to take a drink here. So I get this phone call from a guy that says yesterday, because I gave this presentation to my mastermind group last Wednesday. And he said to me, he wanted Kyle and I to run traffic for him. And we had ran some testing traffic for him because he's a colleague of ours. And he came to us to ask us to do that. And we did as a favor for him. And he came back to us and said, I want to pay you roughly $50,000 a month to run this traffic for me. That, you know, I need to run this traffic. I don't have the time, yada, 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 yada. And based on the results we had from his product, I know that on a registered basis, how Kyle and I operate, that it would have paid us $50,000 a month. Now, here's what a lot of business guys would do. Kyle was in Europe. Get Kyle on the phone, have a big conference, have a big meeting. Hey, man, you know, this, that, the other thing. If you want to do this, we've already got X amount of clients. We've already got this side of our business. We said we're going to reduce that. We're going to focus on our goal of the Facebook training and the mentorship, et cetera, et cetera. We didn't do that because Kyle and I have a plan. The easy answer is no. It doesn't fit into my plan. My plan is to have 20 entrepreneurs a month come into my Facebook traffic jam training. And then 40 of those people eventually will be our clients, millionaire clients that we make money. And so Kyle and I could have taken this client on, but we would have to hire somebody. And so see the last slide, Kyle and I don't want employees. We have Melissa, and that is enough. So we don't want employees. And because of that, we don't focus on it because it's not in our perfect day. So my point is, being defined in what you want is going to allow you to say yes to opportunities that fit and no to opportunities that don't fit into your life and business, right? Say it's your weekend, it's with your wife, she's part of your perfect day in every way. Your buddy wants to go on a hunting trip, but it's your anniversary, right? It's an easy thing, and it's not about, oh, well, I'm married and I got to do this. No, it's about, hey, my wife is number one in my life, and it's easy for me to make that determination. Or if you're running a skincare offer and your goal was to make $1,000 a day and now you're making $1,500 a day, somebody comes to you, wants you to run another offer. Easy. No, I can't do it, man. Not in my plan. And so that's why I said you're not going to be a better person for doing this, but you will be a better businessman or woman, better father, mother, better husband, wife, better friend, because you'll have clarity. So there's nothing worse than someone, you ask them to do something and they tell you yes, and then they hem and haw, or it doesn't get done because they have no clarity. They overbook. They're a little squirrely. You don't want to be that person. And in business, it'll cost you a ton of money. All right. In your personal life, it won't cost you money. It'll cost you relationships. In your business, it costs you money. And so this way, you can eliminate both of these things because now you see clearly what you want. Think about this. If you have a phone or a computer, go open up, if you have Windows, go open up about 10 windows and see how slow your computer runs. Or open 10 different apps on your iPhone and see how slow that damn thing runs. If you cut out all that stuff and you have one app running and you're not thinking about anything but your definite purpose, imagine how fast you can hit that goal. Imagine how much energy you can put into that because you don't have all these other things going. You know, this project, that project, and trying to get this from this guy, that from that guy, those types of things. So that's a great example of how that works. So here's what you do for your first week of training. You're going to write out your perfect day, and you're going to be specific. All right? And if you want hookers and blow, put in your perfect day, man. All right? I don't judge. Whatever you want is fine with me. It makes no difference to me. I got a friend of mine, I won't say his name, in the internet marketing community who lives in Las Vegas and loves to just go out to bars and meet random women and hook up with them. Good for him. That's part of his perfect day. He's single. He's not hurting anybody. But you got to be congruent, because if you're not congruent, you're just kidding yourself. If you tell yourself you want a big company, Fortune 500 company, and you like working from home, being lazy, and watching SportsCenter like Kyle and I, that's never going to work for you. So understand that. So you're going to write out your perfect day, and you're going to post it in the Facebook page, in our Facebook group. And we're going to hold each other accountable in this group. This group is not for the weak. We are going to all make money, and we're going to share that success, and we're going to help each other to get there. And so what I want you to do in your business, if you have your own products or if you are an affiliate, you are going to pick one product to focus on, all right? One. That's it. Your best one, whatever it is, okay? Whatever is going to help us get to that goal that you're going to write down. So you're going to get clear on your goal, and then you're going to put that also on the web page. Kyle and I are going to give you a couple of forms that we're going to put in the Facebook group under files, and you'll be able to get these forms and fill out these numbers. And then as we go along in the training, Kyle and I are going to do one-on-one calls with you guys next week. And so as we go along in the training, everything's going to come back to this goal and this product and that right there. So now, once you get through the training and you determine how to do this process, then of course you can roll out other products. We might even say 5 weeks into it, maybe you have one product and all we can generate is $750 a day from that product, and we say, okay, it's time to add another product, follow the same process. So but what we want to do is when we get on a one-on-one call with you, we want everything to be very simple and very clear, all right? And that did not happen the way we wanted it to before, and it will happen this time. So I want to make sure I get on the call with you and I say, hey, somebody in this course, Harris, all right, cool. What's your goal? Okay, your goal is to make $2,000 a day or $500 a day or $300 a day, whatever that goal is. Okay, awesome. We've got to sell this many units. We got to do this. We got to do this. Okay, what are we doing right now? So that's kind of what we're looking at. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick a revenue goal for your business. And I want you to use the abundance equation to come up with a plan to hit this revenue goal. Kyle and I are going to help you guys with this in our training next week. So we can do it on the Q&A call Thursday. So basically, if you want to make $1,000 a day, let's say your goal is to make $10,000 a month. That seems to be sort of a goal a lot of people have. That's $327 a day. I figured this up for a guy the other day. It's 18 trial green coffees. That's the product that he was running. 18 trial green coffees a day. That's easy. Now all we got to do is figure out, okay, how do we hit those numbers? How do we sell 18 a day? Pretty easy. Kyle and I can give you that how. Okay, once you determine what it is that we're going after. And don't make this, listen, if you're making $3 a day, don't put on there that you want to make $100,000 a month, okay? Because there are steps to get there. And we're going to get you there, all right? If you want to make $100,000 a month, we will get you there. So put it out as a long-term goal, but let's start and let's crawl a little bit before we walk. Let's get you on that path.